Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
High fly ball, deep left center. That ball is gone.
Fly out, a high drive. Bowers is back, backing off, and another one off the monster.
Today is Sunday, June 18th, and it's Game 1 of a two-game Father's Day doubleheader between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Clark Schmidt was on the mound looking to continue his run of recent success. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Welcome back, everybody. I appreciate you joining me here on Father's Day on a Sunday afternoon at 4:20 p.m. when you could be doing other things like watching this horrible Yankees team walk off the field with yet another defeat.
I'm a loser.
Man, I'll tell you what. The offense was astonishingly bad again. And it's almost becoming routine to say that. I feel like every time we do a post-game show, we're talking about how bad the offense was. Listen, it's hard to win games when you don't hit. And without Aaron Judge, this team does not hit, and there's no excuse for it. Giancarlo, Mr. I don't need no rehab games, was 0 for 4 and is hitting .211. Volpe and IKF went a combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Everybody trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark on every swing. What happened to that right field approach, Volpe, that you had success with last week? Today, everything, just trying to hit it over the monster. Trevino continues to do nothing offensively. He is hitting .211. Think about that. Giancarlo Stanton and Jose Trevino have the same batting average. Do you guys still think the batting average doesn't matter? You've got to get hits. You got to get regular hits. 6 guys in the lineup today with an average at .233 or below. And DJ LeMahieu looks like he should straight up retire.
Bye-bye.
Soft contact, poor at bats, just overall a pitiful representation of what this team has been about for generations. The offensive approach is just all wrong, and you can't blame that on Aaron Judge. It's got to fall on the organization itself. They love home runs, but they don't hit enough of them, and it's really awful to watch. Also, the energy on this team feels completely off, and that's got to fall on Aaron Boone. Failure to motivate. Tough day overall. I'll get to this recap. But first I want to talk about the starting pitchers that are going today. So very interesting with both of these guys. Severino and Clark Schmidt have kind of had inverse seasons. So Severino was somebody we couldn't wait for him to get back. He came out of the gate very strong, but he's been awful lately. And he's pitching in game 2 tonight. You know, be interesting to see how he reacts to the Sunday night crowd. But in game 1, we had Clark Schmidt, who coming out of the gate this season was awful. But since May 19th, he had a 2.33 ERA. So basically an excellent month minus a day. But he's had trouble getting through the lineup a third time. So essentially he'll give you 4+, maybe 5 of good baseball, and then he runs into a wall. And that was exactly what happened today. 4 very good innings, and then the Red Sox broke through for 2 runs in the 5th, 3 runs in the 6th, 1 run in the 7th. And look, that's how you lose a ball game. The Yankees didn't rally at all. Now look, a couple of impressive things. Jake Bauers had a good day. He led off Friday night's game with a double, did the same thing again today, 8th double of the season. Gleyber Torres followed up with a 2-run shot over the monster, and the Yankees came out strong.
From there on out, things just got worse.
12th home run of the season for Gleyber, by the way. 415 feet. And at that time, I was thinking the energy looked pretty good. We had to sit through that off day, the rain out after the 15-5 loss. And so it was good to jump out early and kind of set the tone and be like, hey, we're here to play today. But after that, they just did nothing. The energy just fell off completely. Phenomenal defensive play from both Anthonys in the second inning. There was a ground ball up the middle. Volpe made a great stop. He had to rush the throw a little bit, but Anthony Rizzo picked it to get the out. Volpe also had a nice heads-up play in the fifth inning. You talk about the baseball IQ, and this was an example of it. High fly ball to left field, and he actually drifted out to take the cutoff throw, but then he noticed that Bowers was in a bad position to play the carom off the wall, so he went out a little bit deeper, played the carom himself, made a strong throw to LeMahieu as I think he was the second cutoff man at that point, and that potentially kept a run from scoring, but it didn't matter. Red Sox did get on the board that inning, as we mentioned, tied it up at 2 on a RBI ground out, and then a game-tying double off the monster by Duvall. They were just utilizing the monster all game and all series, really. Yankees have done nothing with that monster. Aaron Boone brought in Mike King, and he got them through the fifth inning, but he did not have it today. Sixth inning, Jake Bowers got another double. His stats are not amazing, but you continue to see him at least have more consistent at-bats. He's got a good swing. You can't argue with that. He's got that classic Greg Bird type of left-handed swing. And as of that at-bat, he had 12 extra base hits out of his last 16 hits. So, doing some damage, hitting the ball hard. Bottom six, Red Sox were all over Mike King, banging doubles off the green monster. Before you knew it, it was 5-2. They tacked on another run on a balk and went up 6-2. And the Yankees only got 4 hits in this game, and they have officially dropped the series.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Dr. Hitskin says he wants some Andres Chaparro. Chaparro got off to a great start this year, but I think he's fallen off a little bit of the home run pace lately. Pedro says the Yankees should sell this coming trade deadline. Last week I put out a video about whether or not I think the Yankees would sell and who they could sell. You'd have to imagine they could probably get something for Gleyber Torres, could probably even trade Rizzo if you wanted to, if they're planning on going out and signing the Murakami, the left-handed outfield or first baseman from the Japanese league, who has monster power, hit, I believe, 56 home runs last year. Off to a slow start this year, but the Yankees have been eyeballing him a lot. I don't love how much he strikes out, struck out over 80 times so far this year. I think the Yankees have enough of that, but he's only 23 years old, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't think they have any trade value in like LeMahieu, maybe Trevino because of the defense, but you'd get backup catcher value for him essentially. Maybe you could deal IKF just because, he's proven that he can play the outfield in addition to the infield as a backup. He can catch if you need in a pinch, and he's pitched twice this year, so he's not afraid to go out there and take some lumps. Look, I don't know if they have that much to sell. To me, Giancarlo Stanton is a big problem because he has looked awful. We talked about how he looked great coming into this season, but he needs to get it going, or he needs to waive his no trade clause. He had said in the past that he would accept a trade to Los Angeles. I don't think they would want him anymore, but if he could find a way to make that happen, it would make my day. Do you guys want to even take a look at the box score? It's no fun today. Let me first introduce our sponsor today as I reset the highlights. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. It's an app that you can use to get last-minute tickets, and it's the lowest price on last-minute tickets guaranteed. Right now, baseball is the main sport, but you can also go to concerts. You can also go to the theater. There's a lot of other things. Comedy. I went and saw a comedy show. All sorts of stuff on this Game Time app, and it's very seamless. You just open the app, click on what you want to purchase, enter in the code NYY Recaps for $20 off your first purchase, and voila, you're headed to the game or the concert or the comedy show or whatever. Once again, download the Game Time app, use the code NYY Recaps, and save some money. Thank you to those guys for sponsoring. Tonight in Game 2 is the last the last chunk of their ads for the for this month, and then we'll do 2 weeks out of every month. So look for them in the future. They're a great sponsor. Anyway, West End says this team is ass. You said it pretty well, my friend. Joe Malonzi says they should move Stanton down in the order, like 7th or 8th. I mean, the problem is, who else are you going to replace him with? The 7th and 8th hitters today were Billy McKinney, Jose Trevino. I mean, IKF. The entire lineup after the number 4 spot was 0 for today. Take a look at the box score here. So you see Bowers got 2 hits. Mentioned that he's swinging the bat well. Torres hit the 2-run home run in the first, and then Rizzo had a bloop single in the 9th inning. But LeMahieu 0 for 4. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa 0 for 3. McKinney 0 for 2 with a walk. Trevino 0 for 3. And Volpe 0 for 3. I mean, that's a tough bottom of the order right now, man. That is a tough bottom of the order. And Isaiah Lorenzo says, after this weekend performance, Torres needs to go. You know, Torres was the Yankees' only offense today, so I don't think the Yankees are going to do that. Even though I don't disagree with you, at the trade deadline, I would have no problem moving him and playing the kids. Look, 2016, the Yankees made some trades, they unloaded some guys, and they let the kids play. We got our first look at Aaron Judge. I believe Gary Sanchez was raking that year. We got a good look at these guys. And it'll be fun if the Yankees do fall out of it, at least, to get a look at the kids. I just don't want to keep running Donaldson back out there. Donaldson has like 6 hits and 5 of them are home runs or something like that. Maybe 7 hits. I don't know. But he's not doing good. And he was not in the lineup today, but he'll be in there tonight. We'll probably see Calhoun in there tonight. You know, Trevino, look, I love his defense, but he's not hitting. You know, you got Austin Wells in the minor leagues raking. Dominguez had another double today. He's only hitting about 210 in the minor leagues, but over the last, I'd say, month or so, he's hitting about 250, so he's climbing in the right direction. Again, though, I feel like there's a problem with the organizational philosophy, where even in the minor leagues, they're teaching home runs, lift and separate, launch angle. They're trying to combine launch angle and exit velocity to create home runs. And sure, it works in theory, but this isn't theory. This is in practice. You've got to get singles. You got to use singles and doubles to win baseball games. You got to get hits with runners in scoring position. You got to get hits, period. How many times this season have we seen this team have 3 or 4 hits? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. West End says DFA the whole team. I can get behind that. Safe on Talk says, we got jumped by a group of mustard packets. I don't hate the uniforms, but they don't scream Red Sox to me. Look, it reminds me of a few years ago when I was playing in this men's league, and the team we were playing was called the Woodpeckers. And my buddy just casually walks into the dugout and says, you know, we're not going to lose to a bunch of peckers, you know? I thought that was great. And that's what your comment reminded me of. Scott Fisher said, Red Sox looking like a whole yellow mustard. Stone Cold says, nothing will be done until Cashman is gone. I fear you might be correct. Jonathan Moreno wants to bring some of the classics back. Jeter, Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, Matsui, Pettit, Ron Guidry, Mattingly. Guidry's getting pretty old, but he's still involved in spring training. I really would love to see, thank you for the super chat, Lorenzo. I really would love to see Bernie and Jeter and Martinez and Posada, all those guys from the 90s that essentially are not working in baseball, get back involved. Now, coaching is a tool, right? It's something where, you know, you usually have to work your way up through the minor leagues. You know, as a coach, you've got to, learn what the organizational philosophy is and preach it. But I don't feel like we're in a good spot for that. I would love for these guys to come in and just be mentors, right? Pick different players and mentor them. Nurture their own hitting style, right? The hitting style that got them to the major leagues. You know, nurture things like base running and keeping your head in the game. That type of stuff. Frankie says it's Boston Marathon inspired jersey, so it's fair not to criticize it. That's cool. That's cool. Regini says, how can you blame Boone? You know, look, the fish rots from the head. I think that they're playing very uninspired baseball right now. Nicholas Velasquez says Posada as a hitting coach. You know, Posada was a good hitter. He had a very level swing from both sides of the plate. And it's important that a hitting coach understands the approach from both righties and lefties. I've always liked the idea of having a switch hitter as the hitting coach. I know Chili Davis has been a hitting coach for a while. People like that. You know, Posada, Bernie, anyone, Teixeira, any one of those guys I think would be an excellent asset because they were good major league players. They understand how to hit major league pitching. Dylan Lawson's never faced a major league pitcher. Yankees Judge says Spencer Jones just hit a home run. Nice. And Raleigh says, Happy Father's Day. Yes, Happy Father's Day to all out there. Even the cat dads like me. Raleigh says, to put it simple, we're just not a good team. Hard to put it better. Hard to put it better than that.
Man. Game over. I gotta get out of here.
So there is another game tonight, unfortunately. No fun. It's fun when you're playing well to have a doubleheader. But when you're scuffling, especially when you're not hitting, very tough.
Most impressive.
Jonathan Moreno says, how come no one gets mad on this team? They all just hang their heads and have that woe is me attitude. You know, it's a good point. You need occasionally guys like Paul O'Neill kick a few water coolers. I feel like we expected Josh Donaldson to be that guy, but he's more annoying to the other team than he is like an angry kind of firebrand. I like his energy, but he's not a guy who'll make it out and get pissed. He's more just a distraction. You know, I can't really think of anybody on this team who you see get overly angry. That's a really good point. Sometimes you need guys to wear it on their sleeves. That's an excellent point. Raekwon O'Neal says, as a team, we have a 194 batting average in the month of June. And this is not June 3rd or 4th. This is June 18th. 194 batting average for the month of June as a team. Worst in the league.
Oh my gosh. Does that suck?
Medina says team is taking the persona of the manager. That's a fair criticism. That's a very fair criticism. I said this when I was talking with Pete on his podcast the other day. That laissez-faire attitude, that let it be kind of, beach bum, frat boy kind of, hey bro attitude. It doesn't do it for me on the baseball field. I need somebody who's competitive. Now look, he gets angry at umpires. How about getting angry at Gleyber Torres when he, lackadaisically throws one away? Or how about getting mad at one of your pitchers when they don't cover first base? How about that? Save it on the umpires. That's for show. That's window dressing. Tough. Regini Malhotra says, Beltran is a hitting coach. He was wanting that after 2021. Beltran, another switch hitter who understands hitting. He was also part of that Astros scandal, so he lost his job with the Mets. But, look, he was brought in as a announcer last year for the Yankees. He's no longer with the team as an announcer. So, at least the fans got used to him. But, maybe he would be interested in being a hitting coach. I don't know. You need something. They need to try something different. Yo Elvis says it's time to be sellers. And I think I agree. And Parkson says we need to rip this offense down to its bare bones. Only Judge is worth keeping in the lineup. Bang! I agree. Guys, Alonzo says, relax, we will be fine.
Wrong.
I don't think so, Alfonso. Not this year. I'll catch you guys later on. We got a doubleheader. Game 2 is at 7 o'clock. I'm going to go outside and walk my dogs, get some fresh air, and hope that I can be in a better mood when this next game goes down. Hopefully Luis Severino can come through for us. I'll see you next time.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.